Hey ladies! So today we're going to talk about boundaries. To me, having a very healthy life is all about balance. And to have that balance, you have to have boundaries. I'm kind of I'm a people pleaser, and I want to make everyone happy, so I try to do everything. It was very hard for me to say no. It was hard for me. I felt guilty. What will people think? Will they be mad at me? I don't want to tell them no because then they're going to get mad, so I'm just going to do it. And then once I agree to doing it, I think, why did I just do that? Like, I have too much on my plate. I don't want to do this. So I had to learn how to set boundaries, and that is really hard. But when you're setting boundaries, you have to learn that it's not personal, like, to those people. You're taking care of yourself, right? You're doing what's best for you, and you have to stick to those boundaries, those beliefs, those guidelines. So for example, let's say you have someone very toxic in your life and they're sucking all of the energy and positivity out of you, right? And when you allow that toxic relationship, when you don't set boundaries and you allow them to do things maybe you don't agree with, it's training them that it's okay. I can do that to her. She allows me to do that, she doesn't care, it's no big deal. It's kind of like with children. When you reward bad behavior, they keep doing it. Let's say, like, if they're throwing a fit at the grocery store and you want them to stop, we've all been there, and you end up buying the toy they're throwing a fit over, you just told them that you throw a fit, I'm gonna buy you what you want. So again, that's like setting boundaries with your kids. Well, you kind of have to do, oh my gosh, you kind of have to do the same thing with people in your life, toxic people. If you don't set those boundaries, they think it's okay to run all over you. But when you set those boundaries, you've got to be okay with yourself and love yourself enough to know that they may not like the boundaries you set, but you're okay with it because that's their problem. It doesn't affect you. You're doing this for your well-being, for your mental health, and for your life. By setting those boundaries, you are telling people what is acceptable and not acceptable in your relationship. The hardest part of setting boundaries is honestly, it's sticking with it. It's once you set that boundary, you've got to be consistent and stick with your belief system and stay strong in those boundaries. Definitely, if you guys are a master at setting boundaries, I would love to know what you do, what your boundaries are, what are your beliefs, your morals, things that you do not let people cross the line on. And my big thing is setting boundaries with time and not over scheduling myself and doing too much. But I do have a good balance with work, life, family, and I really try to nurture friendships too. And so I'm learning that balance, but also having those boundaries. If people are a negative time suck for me, or again, my therapist said, and this was 10 years ago when I went to her, she said something about, at that point, I was a whirlwind. I was just like this tornado going like crazy. And, no one wants to stick their hand in that because you're going to get sucked into the vortex, right? And so people just back up. People with boundaries back up, but people who don't have boundaries get sucked into the vortex, right? They just put their hand out and they get sucked in. I'm all for helping people, but if it starts to mess with your mental health and your life, you got to say no. You can help to an extent, but if somebody is not if they're not going to help themselves, there's nothing you can do, because they're only, you can only change yourself. You can't change other people. And so that's where you've got, that's where you have to set up boundaries. If they're a time suck and an energy suck, and they're toxic, it's okay to push away. It's okay to back up. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you're not friends anymore. It just lets them know, like, I can't go there with you, but I wish you luck. and that's okay. That's okay. And that's something I've learned, with friendships and relationships and things, that it's okay. People change, people evolve. Sometimes you grow apart and you grow back together again, and that's okay. That's life. But you've got to set your boundaries and protect yourself as well. So share with me, let me know what you guys do to set your boundaries. If you have any tips on that, that would be great. If there are any psychologists or psychiatrists out there that want to elaborate, I would love to have like an actual professional opinion. So if any of you out there, do this for a living, please, teach us on how setting boundaries, how to set boundaries and how to stick with it, Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you ladies so much. And I hope all these videos are helping. You might be bored out of your mind. I have no idea, but don't worry. We're gonna get on to some beauty stuff, some beauty tips and tricks. And I've got something really fun coming up, something new that I'm super excited to show you guys. So that'll be up in a couple weeks. And next week we'll be talking about strength, our last word for the year. We'll be talking about, not strength here, but strength here. So we'll see you guys next Saturday, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. My dog's sitting here and he keeps shaking his ears. If you hear that, that's what he's doing. See? Say hi, Jagger. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, look at how big he is. Everyone. This is hard with you, Jags. Hey, baby. What are you doing? I know. You are driving me crazy. You're gonna have to get down. No, okay.